everyone, this is me again, Teacher Daisy. So for today, I will be introducing you to novel analysis as well as literature circle. So it's very important for us to know what novel analysis is and what literature circle is, because that's what we will be doing for the third and fourth quarters. Okay, so let's unlock the definition of novel analysis. What is a novel analysis? So with that, we have to define novel and analysis. So novel analysis is a critical examination of a novel. Okay, so in order for us to do that, we have to read the novel thoroughly and to analyze it. Novel, as we unlock it before in our previous discussions during the first quarter or second quarter, it means a type of literary piece that cannot be read in one sitting. Well, analysis is a thorough examination, a critical analysis on something. Okay, so that's very important for us to know, and that's what we will be doing for the rest of what a literature circle is. So literature circle is composed of different points that you have to remember. Okay, the first thing that you have to remember is that literature circle can be made up of heterogeneous students. When we say heterogeneous, it's like a mixture of a student, combination of different students. It could be with different learning styles, different interests, as long as these set of students will be working together in order to examine, in order for them to analyze thoroughly or to critically examine the chapters of the novel. Meaning, what's fun with literature circle is that we'll be working together in order for us to understand each chapter of the novel. Okay? If the other one has difficulty, then some of your classmates will be helping you. And of course, I will be here also to give clarification if you will be needing such. Next is that selected text. So when we say selected text, it refers to the chapters that we are about to read every day. There are different set of chapters that we will be reading every day, every week. And you are assigned to do a certain role and to accomplish that role in order for us to thoroughly analyze the novel. So you are expected every week to do your literature circle role sheet. Next is that it develops the higher order thinking skills. In what way does it develop the higher order thinking skills? Well, for the literature circle, you'll be working with others, as well, of course, working with yourself, because you have to accomplish your own role sheet. In that way, you have to think beyond the box or outside the box. You will develop your higher order thinking skills in analyzing the chapters of the novels in order for you to accomplish your role sheet. Okay? Next is that the teacher is facilitator. What do I mean by facilitator? I will not be the one to thoroughly discuss each chapter of the novel. I will not be the one to be the main lead in order for you to understand the text, but you will be leading everyone, even yourself, to understanding the text. Or the main purpose of a literature circle is to develop conversation. Okay? What type of conversation are we going to develop? Sustained conversation with one another. Although it will be a different literature circle now, because it will be the first time that we will be doing it online using the virtual platform. Okay, you have to know or to develop the rapport, the communication with one another, to build that in order for you to do the literature circle rules. Okay, and that is what a literature circle is. Now, after knowing what novel analysis is and what literature circle is, we'll be going to one of the most significant part that we have to know in literature circle, and those are what we call the roles, the different literature circle roles. So for our class, we will be assigned to different roles, and we have chosen 6 roles. Each of you per week will have a rotation on your roles, so make sure that you will be guided by your literature circle role sheet, which was already given to you. Alright, so with that, let's discuss the different roles for literature circle. There are 6 roles. So we have what we call the summarizer, which is an important role. we have the discussion director, we have the connector, illustrator, the travel tracer, and of course the word wizard. Let's delve in each of them thoroughly so that you know how you will be responding to your literature roles sheet as well as doing the literature circle. First thing that you have to know is summarizer. Based on the role title itself, summarizer, you will be assigned to summarize the chapter, the specific chapter that we are studying. Okay, so if it's a set of chapters that we are studying, you have to summarize maybe 2 chapters, 3 chapters. Okay, you are assigned to do that. Again, in summarizing, you will not get all the points that you have read in the chapter, but instead you will be giving us the gist, the main idea. Okay, you were taught already during the past quarter to summarize a text, so that's what you are going to do with that. Okay, summarizer will be helping us to know the important events that happen in the story, as well as will be keeping us track in the story, because the summarizer will be summarizing the story for us. Okay, summarizer, your role is to keep track with the events, give us the main details that happen in that specific chapter of the novel, right? Okay. Next, let's proceed with the discussion director. Of all the roles, discussion director will be the one to be like the teacher for that day. Since the teacher will no longer be part of the literature circle but will just be a facilitator, your job is to drive the whole literature circle. What do you mean by that? You have to ask specific questions or some questions that we will have to answer at the end of the chapter. Okay? And then you will be the one to ask them different questions. You will be the one to call them for their roles. For example, may I call on the passage speaker to give the roles, or the illustrator, the travel tracer, and so on. Okay? So that's what your job is. Discussion director, you're directing the whole literature circle. Next up, we have the connector. So connector, your job is to find a significant connection between the book or the chapter that we have read to you, or to your experiences, or to the experiences of the world. Okay, you'll be finding connection between the book and you. That's why the job title is connector. You have to connect. Now, what are you going to connect? It could be a past experience that you would like to relate to some of the events that happen in the chapter. It could be happening in the school or outside in the community. It could also be stories in the news or similar events that happen to you, or similar events currently in or happenings in the world. Okay, so connector, your job is to connect the text to you or to the book. We have illustrator. So illustrator, your job is to make pictures out of the chapters that we have read. And in order to do that, this is your chance to make your own images or visions about a chapter. Draw some kind of picture related to the chapters, any pictures, and you have to explain that to us in order for us also have a bigger picture, a clearer picture of the happenings in the novel. So illustrator, you will be giving us a clear picture of the chapters in the novel. Okay, illustrator, you're going to. Another role is what we call the travel tracer. So travel tracer, you have to trace the travel. Which travel? You have to trace the travel that happened in the novel, particularly the settings in the novel. You have to look into the settings, the shift into the settings, okay? Because when you're reading a book, in some of the characters move, or the characters really move. So often you have to trace the changes in the scene. So you have to provide the locations and the exact page number in the book where we can find shift into settings. Okay, that's your job. Travel tracer. And the last role for the literature circle, it would be the word wizard. So word wizard, based on your title, your job is to enrich our vocabulary. There will be surely some unfamiliar words that will be presented in the chapters of the novel. Your job is to jot down puzzling words from the novel while you're reading, and later you look up the definition of those words either in the dictionary, it could be also online, and you have to discuss that to the class in order for us to also know and unlock the meaning of the unfamiliar words. Remember that the words that you're going to look at, it could be unfamiliar words that are crucial to understand, highfalutin words, okay? Deep words that are not familiar, so you have to unlock that so you will be able to understand the novel deeper. Okay, so that's your job. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Remember, the literature circle is comprised of different roles that you have to accomplish and that you have to do when we will be doing our online literature circle. I hope to see you all in our literature circle, and make sure that you will be able to accomplish the literature rule sheet. Don't you worry, because you have the guide there, and you just have to fill out the rule sheet. There are questions there and also instructions for you to accomplish that properly. I hope that we will enjoy our literature class as we do novel analysis. Let's all get lit.